Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that literally impacts every single one of us but is so rarely understood. We're talking about luck. We're going to completely pull back the curtain on what we usually call destiny and figure out how luck actually operates entirely behind the scenes. Now think about a specific moment in your life. We've all been there, right? You watch a colleague land this absolutely incredible job, or you see a friend just happen to bump into exactly the right people at the exact right time. It's such a natural reaction to look at their skyrocketing trajectory and just chalk it up to them being born lucky, like the universe literally just handed them a golden ticket. Well, here is the uncomfortable truth drawn right from our source material. Luck is often just a totally inadequate word for unnoticed preparation. Seriously, by the exact moment someone's success finally becomes visible to the outside world, the years, and I mean years, of grueling, invisible work are already over. And because you didn't see any of that work, the end result looks exactly like magic. It looks just like a lucky break.
Which brings us to Section 1, the iceberg illusion.
And this brilliantly illustrates the whole concept. Just picture a massive iceberg floating in the ocean. What do you actually see? You really only see that tiny, glistening tip sitting right above the water. You see the promotion, you see the thriving business, or maybe that unwavering confidence. But unless you're a marine biologist, you don't see what's hidden deep below the freezing water. You don't see the late nights, the crushing failures, or the literal years of self-doubt. And because that struggle is completely invisible to the naked eye, the outside world just slaps the label luck onto that visible result.
Now, cognitive psychologists actually have a formal name for this phenomenon. They call it survivorship bias. Our brains are evolutionarily hardwired to trick us into noticing the winners. We see the person crossing the finish line holding the trophy, but in doing so, our brains actively ignore the thousands of unseen attempts, the false starts, and the brutal rejections that happened long before that final victory. This cognitive blind spot is exactly why luck feels so much bigger and honestly so much more powerful than it actually is. It's an illusion created by our own selective attention.
So, let me ask you directly. Are you delaying your dreams right now? Think about it. How many opportunities fade away simply because we look at someone successful and falsely assume they were just born different? How many times have you put off starting a project because you quietly believed you just weren't, lucky enough to make it work? When we believe success is a literal lottery, we just stop buying tickets. Let's move on to Section 2, Mathematics Disguised as Destiny.
Let's actually walk through this chain reaction step by step so you can see the actual formula at play here. Step 1, preparation creates opportunities. When you put in the hours, you put yourself in a position to catch a break. Step 2, those opportunities, over time, inevitably create results. And Step 3, those visible results are what create the illusion of luck to everyone else watching. Outsiders just see Step 3 and call it a lucky break, completely blind to Steps 1 and 2. Relentless preparation is the actual engine driving the entire sequence.
So how do you actually engineer this in the real world? Well, the people who seem the absolute luckiest in life are actually just actively engineering probability. They're out there creating more chances for themselves than everyone else. They meet more people, they relentlessly learn more skills, they willingly take way more risks, and most importantly, they fail more often. If you make these actions a daily habit, you are mathematically increasing the surface area for a so-called lucky event to strike.
And honestly, this brings us to a really empowering realization. This isn't magic, guys. It is literally just a mathematical game of probability. Every single failure actually increases the probability of your future success. Failing repeatedly isn't a sign that you're somehow unlucky. Failing repeatedly is a required, totally non-negotiable part of the formula. You have to cycle through the failures to find the win.
100. I really want that to sit with you for a second. The world will enthusiastically remember your one successful attempt, but they are going to completely forget the 100 invisible failures that stood right behind it. When you finally hit your mark, history wipes the slate clean of your 100 misses, and it leaves only the perception of a single, beautifully lucky strike.
Which leads us to our final part, Section 3, your invisible architecture.
Here is the absolute ultimate takeaway from This Explainer today. Your delayed success isn't missing. The universe hasn't forgotten about you. Your lucky moment is just patiently waiting for you to build your own massive foundation in the dark, underneath the freezing water, where absolutely no one else can see it.
I want to leave you with this incredibly powerful thought straight from the text. Luck often arrives wearing the clothes of hard work. It doesn't show up in a flashy suit, It shows up in overalls, completely ready to sweat.
So the next time you look at someone and think they are just impossibly lucky, I want you to ask yourself the only question that actually matters. What are you doing when nobody is watching? Because that is exactly where real success is built. If this explainer fundamentally shifted your mindset today, please like and subscribe to the channel and get back to building your architecture.